Welcome to another episode of Asia Unscripted. It is Monday, September 22nd, 2025. So, this video is more towards the people who are living in the Western world. Those of you that are getting tired of all the stuff that's going on in the West, and you want to maybe come out to this part of the world, maybe Vietnam, maybe the Philippines, maybe Thailand, maybe Cambodia, Malaysia, Indonesia, wherever in Southeast Asia. So most of these countries have retirement visas except Vietnam. Vietnam is a little bit more tricky. Most of you that come over will either qualify for a 45-day visa exemption if you're mostly from European countries, or a 90-day tourist visa. And every 90 days you need to exit Vietnam and apply for a new e-visa, and then when it's approved you can come back in. So that's one option for Vietnam. The Philippines, you can get a tourist visa pretty easily, renew that up to 36 months for most nationalities. A few nationalities is 24 months. And then all you got to do is leave and come back, and that 36 months starts over again. The tourist visa extensions aren't the cheapest in the world, but you're looking at about $500 a year. Of course, you can't extend by the year, but when you add up all the fees and costs, that's what it's about. They just increased their express fees. Actually, they doubled their express fees a couple months ago, so now things are a little bit more expensive for visas in the Philippines. Oh, in Vietnam, the tourist visa is $25 for single entry, $50 for multi-entry. But then you have to include the cost of the border run. So that will add some money depending on what kind of border run you do and where you are at in Vietnam. Thailand still has the 60-day visa exemption. They're talking about changing it back to 30, but as of this recording, it is 60 days, and you can extend it for an additional 30 for 1,900 baht at a local immigration office in Thailand. Thailand has digital nomad visas, education visas where you can learn Thai or do some other learning experiences to get that visa. Thailand also has a retirement visa, which you need to have some money to get. Cambodia is pretty easy. They have tourist visas that are good up to 60 days. You can get other visas, retirement visas, work visas. You don't need a job there to get a work visa, so almost anyone qualifies. And you can get those for up to, well, you get something called a type E visa, ordinary visa, and then you can extend that for up to a year depending on your situation. Tourist visas, which are T visas, you can only extend once for 60 days. So if you're going to come to Cambodia and you want to stay a long time, you need to get that ordinary visa, or they call it an E-class visa. Laos, you can get tourist visas. You can extend those a few times. There are ways of getting longer visas there. It'll cost you though a couple $100 for a year. Indonesia is a little bit more tough. You can get a 30-day tourist visa and you can extend that once. After that, you got to start making border runs to get another tourist visa. However, there are other ways of staying longer. There's a B211A visa, which you can get for up to 6 months. It's not cheap, but it's a possibility. Malaysia, at least for Americans, and I assume most people, you can get a 90-day visa exemption for free, and they don't start asking questions until you've been there 6 months. So you can fly out, fly back in, get another 90 days. That'll be about 180 days altogether. And then you probably have to find another visa or go to a different country. So Malaysia's, it's easy, but it's, you know, after 6 months you got to figure out another plan. So those are just some of the countries in the region. You know, if you're looking for something a little bit more upscale, Singapore gives Americans up to 90 days free. Hong Kong gives Americans up to 90 days free. I'm speaking about Americans because I really don't keep track of the other nationalities. Taiwan also gives Americans up to 90 days. I hear with Taiwan you can leave and come back, get another 90 days, and they're not going to question you. You can do that for quite a while. So that might be an option if you're looking for something with some better infrastructure. Same thing, I believe, with Hong Kong. I'm not sure about Singapore, but Hong Kong and Singapore are going to be for those of you that have a high income or have a lot of money in the bank, because those places are not cheap. It's funny, I was reading an article the other day, and you know, everyone knows Singapore is the most expensive country in Southeast Asia. But you know what's number 2 on that list? The Philippines, which I believe. The Philippines is not a cheap country anymore. Well, it's cheaper compared to the West, but not cheaper compared to surrounding countries. So those are just some of the options you could do if you're tired of living in the West, dealing with the governments and the crime and the high cost of living. You know, I wouldn't recommend it if you have kids. The education systems out here are not great, and international schools are expensive. But if your kids are grown, or if you don't have kids, maybe if you're single, that would be the best scenario for you. Anyways, those are just some ideas. We'll talk again soon. This is Jason from Asia Unscripted. You guys take care. Have a great day.